So much. You're hitting me good. I can make a whole video like a dickhead. Just to set things straight, yeah. I opened up to that guy. Now we see that I made him look like a dickhead. You need to calm yourself down, mate. Stop acting like the goddamn big man, cause you're not. Woo!
Hey guys, I'm Mimi Justin Lee. Welcome back to my channel. Another Love Island review, looking at last night's episode. Basically the fallout after the recoupling, after Michael dumped Amber for Joanna, and after basically Amy found out that Curtis has been moving like a madman. So we wanted to find out obviously exactly how Amber was going to handle it, and honestly she definitely surprised me. But let's get into this recap. What you doing? Have you subscribed? You keep tuning in but you ain't showing no loyalty and pressing that subscribe button. Sis, fix up, look sharp. Subscribe, thank you. So yeah guys, new setup. I'm filming in my bed today. I'm just having one of those days where you just can't be bothered. I just thought bring the camera in here, have a bit of company, and you know, share my thoughts on Love Island. So let's go to the top. Basically at this point I don't feel like there's not anybody that knows that Michael was, he's done out here. Like, I don't see how he's gonna redeem himself, because if he's moved a bit mad and he was owning up to it, he was a bit contrite, if he was apologetic, I could see how, and if he was respectful to Amber in the aftermath, I could see how people would maybe forgive him over time. But my guy is just moving like he's done nothing wrong. Amber is the problem. Everything, you're pathetic, you're childish, you're immature, I have to bite my tongue. I'm just like, I'm confused. Do you not even care how you're being perceived? Like, what is wrong with him?
So let people be him instead of being like people giving dirty looks and kind of comments.
Why are you raising your voice like this?
I'm absolutely not. This is not me raising my voice.
Alright, it doesn't really matter because it's never, the point is never going to sink in.
What point?
The fact that you never really allowed me to open up to you.
What is actually wrong with him? So I felt really bad for Amber having to walk in alone and seeing Michael standing there with Joanna. He didn't look apologetic at all.
I don't know. I'm kind of got it in my head. Like, how does he be feeling? Like, yeah. It's disappointing.
The expression on his face, I just don't even know what to make of that. You could tell that he was genuinely surprised. I think in his head he definitely convinced himself that Amber wasn't walking back in alone. He'd convinced himself that she was going to meet someone that was more her type and she was going to mug him off. And after the tweet challenge where the public basically had said that he was whipped, I think he was really scared of coming across as a mug on camera or coming across as a mug to the public. So he kind of thought, I will mug her off before she can do it to me. And honestly, from a lot of the comments that he said last night, I think that's where his head was at when he was like, I'm genuinely surprised that you've walked in alone. You could tell that it'd probably been playing on the back of his mind. He didn't expect that. He didn't think that she liked him as much as he liked her. And unfortunately, instead of him just admitting his insecurities, he's done what a child would do in this situation and completely blamed it all on Amber. Instead of owning up to it and being like, look, I wasn't so secure in how you felt about me, that's why I've done this. He said, I've done this because of this, I've done this because of that, you never let me speak, you laugh in my face. He said to her that she made him look like a dickhead because she never let him get to know her or something really stupid. He basically said, you made me look like a dickhead.
Yeah, for 4 weeks you basically made this girl out like she's a fucking everything. You have so much. You're hitting me good. I can make a whole video like a dickhead. Just to set things straight, yeah. I opened up to that guy. Now we see that I made him look like a dickhead. You need to calm yourself down, mate. Stop acting like the goddamn big man, cause you're not. Woo!
And that was so telling, because he cares so much about what the public think about him being whipped that he's gone and completely moved mad. I thought it was so ironic that he was saying she made him look like a dickhead, when every night that girl slept outside on the daybed, slept alone, refused to kiss boys in challenges, did not entertain anyone, while he was in bed with another girl, cracking on, saying, like, literally bitching about her the whole time with this new girl kissing her. And he thinks that Amber made him look like the dickhead. You've publicly humiliated this girl on national TV, and you have the nerve to say that. Men never stop astounding me. They never do. And when he pulled Amber for a chat, and like she was being so calm, so collected, and he was like basically being super manipulative and say, stop raising your voice at me. She wasn't raising her voice. He was like, you're laughing, you know, you're smiling. Like, what did you want her to do to be upset? I feel like Amber handled it with such class, because I think he really thought she was gonna kick off. He really thought, you know, she was gonna make herself look bad, and she didn't. She really didn't. She kind of laughed it off and said, you know what, I'm glad it happened to me and not somebody else, because I'm strong. And I was all the way here for that. Like, I was so proud of her, the way she dealt with it yesterday, because I think all of us expected her to go on a mad one, and she definitely did well. And I think that probably pained Michael more. And he was giving her all this attitude and sass, and then blaming her for wanting to stick up for herself, and basically manipulating her to the point where any reaction that she gave him, he would be like, yep, you've proved my point, yep, you're immature, yep, you're feisty, yep, you're petty. Anything she did, he would have spun it against her. And I really felt bad for her, because she couldn't even really defend herself and say, look, you've done this to me, you've hurt me, without him just throwing it back in her face. I'm completely gobsmacked by his behaviour at this point, to be honest. But Amber's so proud of her. Obviously we saw her break down later on in the daybed with Ovi and Anna.
I'm not gonna kick her. I'm not gonna kick her.
And that was just so sad to see, you know. But Ovi hit it right on the head when he said, look, why didn't he just put his big boy pants on and just say, look, I want to crack on with this new girl? Why is he putting all the blame on Amber? Amber said it too.
Instead of just saying every bad thing that I've ever done to you, how about you just say, I met this girl and had an instant connection, you know, I think she's beautiful, she's my type on paper, blah blah blah. I went, that's absolutely fine, great, crack on. But he didn't. He just made excuses after coming excuse.
And I'm like, yes, this is what we've all been trying to say. It's not the point that he wants to get with a new girl. If that's where your head is at, that's where your heart is, whatever, do that. But you don't have to slag her off in the process. You don't have to say all the things that are wrong with her in the process, because you never said any of these things to her face. And we saw Anna call him out on this. And I'm not here for people that keep saying Anna and Amber are bullies. I'm sorry, but they're not. Anna did not go and confront Michael until she saw her bestie in that villa breaking down. And that's a good friend. It's really tough seeing someone that you care about being that hurt, and knowing that the person that's hurting them isn't even sorry. You know, Anna did go and confront him, and you know, I don't blame her at all. Not bully, that's a good friend in my books, because if that happened to me, I would have absolutely annihilated the man that is making my bestie cry. Hashtag bully and what. You know, and it annoys me that people didn't have the same energy for Maura when she completely bulldozed Tom twice in 2 days. She lost her ish. She kicked off. She called that boy all the names under the sun, and she was never brandished as a bully. So I'm really sick of that label. I'm really sick of that tag. Yeah, going back to Michael, it really annoys me, because all the things that he's saying now that he doesn't like about Amber are the exact same things he was saying that he loves in the beginning. I love a feisty woman. I love a woman that can put me in my place. You know, I like the fact that she, you know, her sense of humour, she makes me smile and laugh all the time. And now all these things have suddenly turned into negatives, because he was scared of her making him look stupid, and because a new girl's walked into the villa. I hate when men say they want a strong woman, because when they get a strong woman, they have no idea what to do with her. Let's be real, let's be honest. What you want is a woman that's going to pander to you and stroke your ego, which is basically what Joanna has done since she came into the villa. No disrespect to her, but that's basically what she's done. Amber has had her guard up. She's made Michael work for it, and he wants something a little bit easier. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, but then don't go about spouting, oh, you want a strong woman, you like a woman with a bit of feistiness to her, because clearly you can't handle the feistiness, you know. You don't like the heat. Get out the damn kitchen and stop piping up about you can handle the heat, because my guy, it seems like you want Antarctica. Let's be real. The amount of times we heard Michael in that episode talk about how he had to bite his tongue. I'm like, bite your tongue for what? Acting like you don't have a mouth to use, acting like you can't speak up, yet now you are shouting from the mountaintops about biting your tongue everywhere. Clearly you have a backbone, clearly you have a voice, because you are using it to sprout this shit everywhere. So why couldn't you say all of these things before? Amber has never belittled you, she's never, you know, shouted at you, she's never called you out of your name, she's never done anything that would make you unable to express your frustrations to her. Like, so what if she laughed and said that you're taking things too seriously? If it's that deep to you, you need to own up, be a man, and say, look, this is serious, that's why I'm taking it seriously, and I need you to hear me. If you're too much of a coward to do that, don't blame it on the girl and say that she's done this, that and that to you, because at the end of the day, you have no backbone, you have no spine, you're a coward, and that's what you should be saying, instead of I had to bite my tongue, because it makes you look weak AF, because Amber has never been that girl to basically put you down or make you look stupid. You've done that to yourself all by yourself. My Michael rant is done. I'm so done with him, but super proud of Amber, the way she handled things. She was a bit like petty when she called the new girl a dead thing, but I don't blame her, because end of the day, none of us are going to be nice to the girl that a man leaves us for. We did see them at the end of the episode going off for a chat, and I definitely want to see what happens in that chat. So last night Instagram went down an hour before my live, so I couldn't really do my live video, so I'll be doing a live reaction on my Instagram, adjusting_me, to Amber and Joanna going off on that chat. I want to see what is exposed, because at this point Amber still doesn't know that on the second day Michael jumped into bed with Joanna. She still doesn't know that he's been kissing her. She doesn't know the level of disrespect that Michael has actually shown her, and hopefully it all comes out in tonight's episode. So make sure you tune into my live, have your snacks and your popcorn ready. Let's talk about Curtis and Amy. Honestly, I feel like Curtis had the perfect level of contrition. Yes, contrition. He was so apologetic. He seemed so sincere, even though we kind of know he's not, because he would have coupled up with Jordan if she'd given him the chance.
And then I said I'd break up with her.
Yes.
And she said no, basically. And
She said no, so you were like, oh, right then, okay, fine.
So we know that he's definitely settling for Amy and only choosing her as his backup. But I like the fact that he approached the situation with humility and remorse, which is something my guy Michael incapable of. So I really felt bad for Amy. Like, she wasn't expecting it. She was going in there to say that she loved him, and now it really seems like she's devastated. When she was breaking down in the VT saying that, you know, she thought she had a future with him and now she has nothing, I did kind of want to slap some sense into her, just be like, look, no man is ever your future, sis. You are your future, get a grip. But at the same time, we've all been there when it feels like your world has completely fallen apart. And I did love Maura, like, giving her that harsh reality, like, look, that boy doesn't love you, because if he loved you the way you're saying you love him, he would never have done this to you.
When I was talking to him, I love him. Because he loves you. What are you asking about? He does, he loves you. Yeah, I know that's what I'm trying to say. It's harsh being, but I'm fucking being serious. He doesn't. Because he wouldn't fucking done that if he did.
And Maura, for me, such a girl's girl. In the last 2 episodes, her reactions, you know, the things she said, like, she's confident, she's sassy, and honestly, she's had each of the girls' backs through this. So I'm really, really, really definitely Team Maura on this one. Do you feel like Amy is going to forgive Curtis, which is such a shame? I really feel like he's done something that you really can't come back from, because I really don't think he likes her the way that she likes him. And you know, if you have any dignity in this kind of situation, you kind of really need to walk away. And walk away. And if he decides that he wants to stick around and prove it, fair enough. But I really feel like she's kind of making a meal of him sleeping outside in the day bed. But she's quite an insecure girl, and she probably will end up forgiving him, which is definitely a shame. It was good to see Anna and Jordan go for a chat pretty much immediately after the recoupling. It showed me that they both have a very good respect for each other. I like the fact that Jordan took her recoupling with Ovi pretty well. It seems like maybe, or at least the producer's trying to make it seem like Anna's backtracking, but I really don't think that's the case. I think she probably feels quite flattered, you know, that Jordan chose to stay single and hopefully recouple with her. She probably feels quite flattered, and she probably didn't realise he liked her that much, which is obviously quite a nice feeling. But man like Ovi, is she really gonna leave man like Ovi for Jordan? I just don't see that happening. I'm sorry, but I don't. But I like the way Jordan has handled himself. I like the fact that they've still got a really good friendship. They're still able to say they miss each other, give each other hugs. You know, yeah, I think that's quite nice as well. It was really good to see Tommy and Molly back together, and I really forgot to touch on how heartbreaking their recoupling was. Obviously in a good way. I cried so hard when Molly broke down when she saw Tommy holding Ellie Belly. They are, for me, the standout strongest couple now, and they've got a very good chance, if nothing comes and rocks their boats, which I don't think anything will, because if they've survived the test of Casa Amor as well as they did, as convincingly as they did, I don't see anything else coming in to rock their boat. I think they're probably going to win the season of Love Island, and I'm here for it. You know, Molly's really growing on me. Tommy's absolutely, in fact, I think at the moment Tommy's my favourite guy in there. There's so much to be said for loyalty, and seeing a guy, especially now because I've lost so much faith in men, just watching Curtis move the way he's moved. I have to go and eat a shoe because of this. I had so much faith in my boy Curtis. Watching Michael, I'm just like, rah, men are moving this mad, especially the good ones, the ones that you don't see coming. They're moving this mad. Damn. You know, I've really lost a lot of faith, so it's really nice to see Tommy being that steady and that focused at 20. It's actually surprised me a lot. The last thing I will say is Joanna. I don't really know what to make of her, because I don't like the way she keeps calling Amber immature, but at the same time I guess that Amber's not being that warm to her. I did kind of laugh a little bit when Joanna walked over with Jordan to say hi to Amber right after the recoupling, and Amber completely ignored her. At the same time, I would have done the exact same thing. So I get why Joanna's in her feelings, and Amber did call her a dead thing as well, which is petty AF. So I guess her calling her immature in contrast is not that bad a thing, but her and Michael are not going to get any love in that villa right now. She's in for a tough time, and yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see how she handles it and how she handles herself. But if she thinks that the public are gonna like her if she keeps bitching about, you know, Amber, we're not. That's my recap, that's my review. Sound off in the comment section below. How do you think the chat between Amber and Joanna is gonna go tonight? Are they gonna get anywhere? Is there any chance of them like uniting against Michael? I don't think so, but that would just be awesome to see. That would actually be awesome to see. A little bit of girl power, I'd be here for it. Make sure you subscribe before you go, and I'll catch you guys soon. Don't forget to tune into my live tonight at 9 o'clock. Instagram, best not let me down again. We're gonna see how this episode goes.